Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and this week we've got our Saturday pre-orders officially live. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. So it is officially live. Saturday pre-orders go on patrol with the Grey Knights and Thousand Suns. It's a classic clash of cavaliers and conjurers in this week's pre-orders, as the Holy Grey Knights stare down their traitorous Thousand Suns brethren in a pair of new combat patrol boxes. These sets are the perfect way to start a new army or supplement your existing force. It's also your last chance to pick up this made-to-order release Warhammer Quest, Cursed City, which is available until 8 p.m. GMT on Monday, the 21st of March. So it is the 19th right now. Got until the 21st to pick up Cursed City. It did come back at the original price of $199. And while there is some controversy about the quality of the actual game itself and how fun it is, etc., I have opened up mine. I have started assembling the models inside, and I'm going to tell you right now, without having played the game, the quality of the content is phenomenal. For the price of this box, especially when you compare it to some of the new stuff coming out from Games Workshop and the prices of it. For instance, Eldritch Omen's 40k box is like 16 miniatures, including one big monster, for $199. That went up to $210, and that just came out. This is still $199, and to tell you the truth, it is absolutely loaded. I think there's something like 50-something models in it. I have only assembled, I believe it's like 11 of the skeletons, 10 regulars of the Ulfenwatch skeletons, and then the Ulfen Guard captain or whatever. The quality of the models is amazing. They are very, very nice looking. Definitely loaded with detail. There are some parts that look a little sketchy, a little bit like possibly like fragile, but I didn't have any problems. I was a little careful assembling them. They have some tiny little spears and definitely some intricate details, but typically, if you can make it through the assembly process and get some primer on them, once you paint them, they're much more durable, as the paint is like an extra layer of protection. But just looking at the actual models up close, having assembled some, it's all push fit stuff. Very, very nice quality. There is some various ways you can assemble the different skeletons and zombies also, so that you don't have to have multiples of the same model. And then the actual board tiles and tokens and all that stuff, extremely high quality as well. The actual like dungeon tiles look phenomenal. If I was going to start playing Dungeons and Dragons and didn't have any models or any board tiles or anything like that, I would seriously consider a set like this, especially if you were going to do like a Curse of Strahd campaign or something like that. It's loaded up with everything from like, you know, a werebat, vampires, a bunch of like, there's like zombie ogres, skeletons, regular zombies. There are a bunch of actual like character models. Very nice set. I can honestly say that the quality is great. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to buy the set. I'm just telling you my honest experience with it without even playing the actual game. The value that you get with the models and everything and the board tiles, if you're going to play like dungeon crawler type game, is great. Now, the game itself, I've heard mixed reviews from. I'm not sure how many people were jaded by the release. I'm not sure how many people actually played the game with other people, because I've played all the other Warhammer Quest games, and they're all extremely fun. Blackstone Fortress is great. The previous Warhammer Quest, and then expansion, like the Shadows over Hammerhall, and the other one are great. The old Warhammer Quest are great. I really like the dynamic of the games. I watched a couple of videos online, like people reviewing it, or like playing through the missions, and all the ones I saw seemed like somebody just like kind of grinding to put out content. It didn't seem like the type of thing where you sit down and try to have some fun with your friends or whatever. Now, granted, I've heard that there's some flaws with the monsters being kind of one-dimensional and not having ranged attacks, etc. I could totally understand that. I could understand where that's not as good, because that was one of the things about Blackstone Fortress. You feel like you're playing against an actual like player with the NPCs. You feel like you're in a video game on like, you know, a difficult setting, because the NPCs are programmed to do things that are like intelligent for them. Now in this, if everybody's just charging forward and you're just waiting there to kill them, I could understand how, you know, maybe the game itself is not that great. So I can't speak for the actual game I'm playing through it, but the quality of the contents is phenomenal. But most importantly, let's be realistic. This opportunity to buy, once it's gone, later on they have already said this is going to come back in the future with expansions. You know, maybe even some ranged attack guys, some casters, you know, who knows what's going to come later on. But we know for sure when this comes back in, I think they said October or November, the price is going to be much higher. I would expect them to go from 200 on this box to probably at least 210, maybe 220. Who knows what prices are going to be by then. So while I wouldn't say FOMO into this box, I would say if you're legitimately thinking about picking this up in the future, it might be worth doing just because we know when it comes back, it's going to be at least 10% more. Most things went up 12%. So that would be it coming back at closer to like 224 or something like that. So I don't know. I would keep that in mind. See, you know, see what you think. Make your decision before it is too late. So a couple more days to pick this up. Again, you know, if you don't get it, that's on you. It's completely fine. I understand. But, you know, I've watched a lot of reviews from stuff before from people, and they weren't that great. And then I had completely different experiences. When Blackstone Fortress came out, it didn't seem like people were too hyped on it. It wasn't that popular. It didn't have that good of reviews. People were saying it was kind of one-dimensional, etc. I thought that was a great game. It was super fun. We played through all the missions, the expansions, all kinds of stuff, and it was honestly great. So, you know, maybe Curse City's not as good as Blackstone Fortress, but it has the same dynamic and the same way of gameplay. I think you could still have quite a bit of fun with this. And I think it would be something that you could play with like family, friends, somebody that maybe wasn't necessarily into this. If not, just using the contents for a different game. But anyway, that's my honest opinion without playing the actual game before. But I will play it in the future and I'll be able to tell you. But by then, who knows? So it says the epic cooperative game sees a group of foolhardy adventurers setting out to lift the curse on doomed mortal city in the realm of Shaish and overthrow the vampiric ruler along the way. The box includes dozens of incredibly cool miniatures, from crusading heroes to undead heroes, plus tons of quests, treasures, scenarios, game boards, and all sorts of other stuff. And just so you know also, the reason I was actually assembling those miniatures is I am going to be doing a speed painting video with the Army Painter speed paints, where I go through and paint up the set. So, you know, basically, if you want to paint along with me or, you know, might be interested in that in the future, it's worth considering. I will be doing like full Curse City box game paint up, but I'm going to do it in like monster groups or character groups, etc. So keep your eyes out for that one in the future, as I have some time to kind of break that down and get into it. So next we have the Combat Patrol Grey Knights. The Demon Hunting Lord of Titan are on the march with the Grey Knights Combat Patrol. They arrive with a Librarian in Terminator armor, 5 Grey Knight Terminators, 5 rank and file Grey Knights, which can be built as Strike Squad, Interceptor Squad, Purifier Squad, or Purgation Squad, and a mighty Nemesis Dreadknight. So we've talked about this quite a bit. Retail on this is $150. If we total everything up, it only comes out to $195. So it is by far the worst value of all of the combat patrols, but it is actually a really good set as far as what you're going to be using and like a starting army. The Librarian is $38. 5 Grey Knights, normally they're only available in 10 for $65, so I count them as $35. The Terminators are, I think it was $60, and then the Nemesis Dreadknight is $60 as well. So not the best value, but has a great composition. The truth is, this really should have had a 10-man Grey Knight squad in it. That's definitely what's missing, in my opinion. The other alternative would have been, go ahead and put Castellan Crowe in here. At first I was thinking maybe they didn't do it because they didn't want to put unique characters in these box sets, in case you wanted to buy multiples of them, so you wouldn't have duplicates of a character you couldn't use. And then I realized Typhus is actually in the Death Guard one. So there's really no reason Typhus shouldn't have been in this one. And like in the Start Collecting box previously, Aramen was in the Thousand Suns Start Collecting box. We've definitely seen unique characters in them. So definitely was a missed opportunity in my opinion. Even if they didn't change the cover art and they just slid 5 extra Grey Knights in here, I think that would be a good decision on their part. But by far the worst deal, but probably the best like composition. And honestly, people had said it's because of the points. Grey Knights are extremely expensive points-wise, so they didn't want to give you too much and keep it around 25 power level. I get that, but it would be easy to just say, hey, here's your combat patrol. You don't get to use 5 of your guys. You know, you only get to pick 25 power or 500 points or whatever, and then you still get a good deal, but you just have a couple models you don't get to run. Or alternatively, you know, maybe even take out, I don't know, it really can't take anything out because it really just needs more in here. But I think if you took all the combat patrols and you put them up against each other, I think this one would probably be the best one. Like combat-wise, actually fighting, I think this would do the best. It has quite a few psychic powers. It has Terminators, which are going to be very hard to kill for some of the other combat patrols. And then the actual knight himself is a total beast. And, you know, that's just if you use him as the regular knight. If you do him as the Grand Master, you know, he's pretty much going to be like unstoppable. Now, granted, the points-wise probably wouldn't line up then. But I think it's probably the best composition and maybe the strongest of those. But definitely the worst deal. So, versatile box gives you powerful starting army suited to combat patrol games, roughly 25 power level, with a sturdy spine of Terminators and Space Marines backed up by the raw killing power of the Dreadknight and psychic boons from the Librarian. The combat patrol 1,000 Suns, age-old adversaries of the Grey Knights, the sorcerous heretics of the 1,000 Suns are joined by mutant allies in their quest for arcane knowledge in a combat patrol box of their own. So here we have the combat patrol 1,000 Suns. So here's kind of the opposite. Now, granted, 1,000 Suns, Scarab Acult Terminators are very good, very strong. The Infernal Master is okay, cool model, but there is no reason to have 20 Tzaangors in this set. I have said it multiple times. You know, this one is a great value if you were going to buy all this stuff individually, but composition-wise, it's absolutely terrible. So you would have to run these 20 Tzaangors as a single unit because you don't have any Rubric Marines, and you only have one squad of the Scarab Acult Terminators, and you can't take more Tzaangor squads than you have 1,000 Sun squads. So you're limited right there because you have to put 20 of them in a squad. And then on top of that, the value that you get in this box is great dollar-wise. It's $60 for the Scarab Acult Terminators. It is $38 for the Infernal Master. So that's $98. And then it's $50 each for the 10 Tzaangors. So that's another $100. So that's $198. And then on top of that, it comes with 4 of the Tzaangor upgrade frames with the bolt pistols and chainswords. So you're actually looking at $258 in value. This might be the most value at retail packed into one of these combat patrols. Unfortunately, it's just not that great of an army. Now, there's a bunch of chaff in here, which is good, I guess, for holding objectives, but then you can't even split up the Tzaangor squads. You would have to have them as one giant squad, unless I'm missing something. So this has the complete opposite problem as the Grey Knights box. And I've said this before. The Grey Knights box is amazing, but a bad deal. This one is amazing deal, but a bad box. So, again, the Scarab Acult Terminators are very strong, very hard to shift. You know, Psychers, durable, great. The Tzaangors are okay, and there's a lot of bodies. They have an invulnerable save. They can do some damage if they need to in combat or whatever, especially with 20 of them. But honestly, just not that great. Now, the Infernal Master, he's okay. Not particularly amazing or anything, but pretty good. Now, again, this one would probably do okay competitively, but would be relying quite a bit on the Terminators or Psychic powers to kill some of the more durable units. I think in the end, the Grey Knights would completely spank this. So, the mighty Infernal Master wields Psychic powers and demonic pecs, guarded by a solid firebase of 5 relentless Scarab Acult Terminators, all while a whopping 20 bestial Tzaangors swarm across the battlefield claiming objectives. In total, you get roughly 25 power level worth of Tzeentch devotees in this box. So, balanced, technically by power level, but overall, Castellan Crowe is next. Castellan Crowe is the Brotherhood champion of the Purifier Order and one of the Grey Knight's mightiest heroes. He safeguards the Black Blade of Antwer and powerful demonic sword that only he can withstand, with trails black energy as he cuts down sworn enemies of the Emperor. So again, could have thrown Castellan Crowe in with the Grey Knights box. He's only 95 points, so he wouldn't have put like the army like through the roof or anything. Maybe would have had to like trim down a little bit, but he's super good and definitely a auto include in your army. Now, he did come out at the Start Collecting box are $150. He's a unique character, and they're coming out at $45. So from here on out, special characters, unique characters, whatever, $45. Very nice model. Definitely got upgraded in physical like stature and looks and everything. He is definitely pretty awesome and good in game terms. But $45 for one guy, I'm not loving that. So previously only available as part of the Hexfire Battle Box, you can now pre-order new Castellan Crowe on his own for the first time. He can be built with a helmet or a bare head, all the better for staring down the demonic foe. And he does come with a nice thematic base. Next we have the Infernal Master. Infernal Master is a skilled psyker of the Thousand Sons Legion who forms wicked pacts with demonic entities to enhance his allies and curse his enemies. His own psychic abilities are supported by these ethereal allies dubbed tutelaries and gift him with the additional sorcerer's power. Offer a glimpse of the future or destroy his enemies with a dreadful gout of forbidden warp fire. So these are cool. The little, stingray mantas, definitely pretty sweet. I like the model. I like the overall, kind of action casting of it and the flames on his backpack. Again, he's got a, nice little rocky base, some tactical rocks. It looks pretty good overall. You can tell that these models are obviously, sculpted digitally. They don't have the same old feel of some of the models and, kind of end up like a little bit like chunky and kind of squarey looking. But overall, nice looking models. I'm sure they would paint up very nicely. This dude looks pretty cool. He is $38. So Castellan Crowe, 45. He's 38. Previously, they were both only available in the Hexfire box, which came out quite a while ago. So if you didn't get one of those because they sold out super quick, you were basically struggling just waiting to get a hold of either of these characters. So definitely cool that they are out. Unfortunately, that the prices are a little bit hefty at $38 and $45. Like Castellan Crowe, this is the first time the Infernal Master is available for order separately. He makes a versatile leader for the followers of Tzeentch. That's it for this week. So head to Games Workshop web store now to strike a dark bargain or purify your soul and check out these excellently painted examples. So there's basically just an article with some Castellan Crowes painted up and everything, and that's pretty much it for the pre-orders. We had those couple of books that came out on softcover. They were older books that had previously been available, Dark Imperium and one of the Imperial Guard ones. $16 a piece for those, $150 a piece for the combat patrols, and then $45 for Castellan Crowe and $38 for the Infernal Master. So when it's all said and done, is the Grey Knights Combat Patrol good? Yes, it is. Is it a good deal? No, it's not. Is the Thousand Sons Combat Patrol good? It's a good deal, but not so good in gameplay. So let me know what you think. I am excited for the ones that are coming next. We know that we are getting the Aeldari box next month, I believe they said, and that is going to be very good. It's a good deal, and then it also has nice composition. I would have rather seen one less squad of the bikes and one of the, Aspect Warrior units in there. But again, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. I don't get to design what's in these things. It is what it is. Overall, that's a nice box, nice deal, and nice amount of miniatures. And then we know also the Custodes box is coming. That one is a nice deal and also nice composition as well. It has 10 of the sisters that can be built as any of the 3 available units for them. And then it has 5 of the regular Custodes. One could be built as a shield captain. One could be built as a standard. And then you could have 3 base if you like. And then it also has a unit of the Virtus Praetor jet bikes. You'd have to build those all 3 as regular jet bikes, or else you wouldn't have a legal unit. The only other alternative would be to make all 3 of them shield captains, which isn't really viable. So, but that is a nice box. You could easily pick up, 1 or 2 of those boxes and have a very nice, base army, and then just kind of add from there. Might have a couple more sisters than you're going to use, but overall, good deal, good box. And then the Genestealer Cult box is really nice as well. That one is going to be coming probably when the Custodes box comes out as well. We don't know exactly when on those, but that is loaded up. It had 5 of the Aberrants. It had 10 of the regular Neophytes. It had a Goliath truck. It has, oh man, I can't remember now. It's been so long. It had a nice character in there as well. And then I want to say there was one more unit also. That thing was loaded up and definitely had a lot of value. So I'll have to look back at that, or I'm sure we'll hear something about it in the near future. But at this point in time, we're down to just the last few combat patrols, and then everybody will have one. So I expect Guard will be getting a Codex and combat patrol sometime in the near future. Excited to see what is in that. Maybe we'll see those Rough Riders debut in there. I doubt it, but it's possible. And then also, the Chaos box will probably get upgraded soon, so we'll probably see the Demon Kin set with the Infernal Master and all that stuff, we'll probably see that start collecting box get rolled into a combat patrol, just like we saw the Vanguard Space Marines. A lot of people have speculated that it will just get a Rhino added in, similar to like what the Adeptus Sororitas one got. I think that seems pretty viable, and overall would be a nice force. Now that's pretty strong. It's well over 25 power level, so who knows what they'll do with that one. And then what else do we have at that point in time? The Tyranid one's coming. The Eldar one's coming. We have the Gene Stealer cult. We have the Custodes. So I guess really some Knights. Are we going to see a box with Knights? It would be awesome to see one big Knight, either Imperial or Chaos, and then 2 Armigers in a box. That was a previously available box like a while ago that was super limited. And the Knights retail at like 160 or 170, and then 80 for the smaller ones. So it would be 250 and 240 for the Chaos ones. So I think that's right in line with a lot of the other combat patrols. We obviously see the Tzeentch one retail is 258. So 250 would fit that pretty well. And then 240 for the Chaos one. So that would be in line with a lot of the other combat patrols. So maybe that's what's coming. That would be pretty exciting. I think that would be a good deal also. And I would definitely like to see that. Now, I guess that's not really viable, though. They're not going to do that, because the combat patrol retails for 150 and the Chaos Knight is 160. The Imperial Knight is 170. So there's no way anybody would buy any of those. They would just always buy the combat patrol. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. That's super weird. I didn't think about it like that. I guess that's not viable. So let me know what you think. Maybe there's going to be some new Knight models coming out. And maybe you'll just get like 4 or 5 small Knights. I don't know. Definitely interested to see how they go about that, because they've made it pretty clear that everybody's going to have combat patrols. I'm not sure what they're going to do with demons either. Like the Nurgle demon one is gone now because they did the Maggotkin for Sigmar, the Vanguard box. So now we don't have a start collecting Nurgle demons. So maybe later on they're going to have to do like a mixed demon combat patrol. They will have like 1 unit from each of the demonic gods. Not sure. We'll see what happens. Definitely looking forward to where they take things in the future. Although I'm not too excited about the price increases. When it's all said and done, I'm sure we'll all be used to them before long. So, but that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. If you enjoyed the video today, if you like these kind of reactions, reviews, and news, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. We are a commission studio. Been absolutely slammed lately, and appreciate all the people that purchase commissions. And obviously, we show those off as they leave the studio, and then do all kinds of painting tutorials, conversion tutorials, lighting, magnetization, pretty much anything to do with tabletop wargaming. So that's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.